Well, hello there, Janine here. So delighted to have you join me today. Mindset is a very interesting point of view at times. It's learned, it's there, and we take it for granted until we don't. What I have found with mindset is where have you set your mind to either you can do it, you can't do it, or where has your mind been set for you that you are unable to do something or that you are able to do something? What do I mean by this? Well, what I mean is we pick up from others the way they do things, the way they say things, the way they are. Add into that the fact that cells respond to each other. Cells respond to those that are like them. So, whatever our parents had challenges with, that part of our cells, the cells within us that came from whatever they shared, either the ovum or the sperm, gets to resonate within us as well. Now, this is where we get to return to center with love and consciousness attached, and then be aware of what are we passing down and what are we sending through the collective conscious, collective unconscious, because we are all connected. And it's to be aware of what influence and impact has this had on your thinking, the way you do things, and the way you avoid doing things? Because this has enormous impact on the way we do things. We think it's subtle. I love that story, and I've told it several times, where the grandchild says, Mommy, how come Granny's cutting the head off or some part off the chicken, the front of the chicken or the roast? And she says, I don't know, Mom, how come you doing that? I have no idea. My mom used to do it. So anyway, they went and found Great Granny, who luckily was still alive. And Great Granny said to them, Oh, that's because my oven was too small to have a large pan. So I had to cut it to get it in the pan to get it in the oven. And unconsciously, her daughter and her daughter's daughter had been doing it until the granddaughter said, How come we doing it? What is the reason for it? And something I have learned is to doubt the things I believe, and to doubt things I've been taught to do and say, well, what is there a better way? Is there a way that's easier, less messy, more comfortable, whatever? Is there a better way? And it's been amazing how it pops in, presents itself, and just works at a deeper level. I just love how that works out for me. This morning I was posting a parcel, and I was so fascinated because when I grew up, you parceled it up, you went off to the post office, they weighed it, put the stamps on it, took it to the back, and that the person, well, in those days when I grew up, they got it. Afterwards, it was a maybe they will, maybe they won't scenario, which is the reason why we now use courier services. Anyway, the point is, I had to go, and the lady said, You require this app, and you require this, and you require that. And it was all done on my cell phone. She said, Well, look, it would be easier on your laptop. No, 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 I'm not driving home. Let's just suck it up, buttercup, and get it done on the cell phone. And she so patiently walked me through the process, which actually was quite simple. The thing throwing me off was the password. It wasn't accepting my password for some reason. Anyway, that is it as it may. I was thinking to myself, my grandmother would be absolutely amazed to see what's happening here, how it's happening, and what it is. Never mind my grandmother, I'm amazed. And for me, it's just so much more effective and easier. And I said to her, Well, what's the easy way of doing it? Because I didn't have the other person's phone number. So I thought, okay, guides, help me out. Well, just put your own. Hello, such a logical question, answer to the question. So I put mine, I've got the email address, I emailed them the PIN. And it happened because I asked, what's an easier way here? What can I do? What is a solution to this? Rather than, oh, it doesn't work. Rather than going into the drama loop, I went into the let's solve it loop. What is the solution? So when we can step away from that drama, because remember, we've been wired to have that drama most times, or to suppress it and push it down, and then it comes up as pain, as discomfort, and all sorts of other things in our body. And when we can step away into that and say, okay, what's my actual belief here? Where is this coming from? Whose is it? And what is the solution? What is a way that will give me more ease to handle it? Remember, easy is very different to ease. Just because something is easy, it sometimes can be very hard in the long run. And whereas when we say, where do I allow for ease in this? We get shown the solutions, we get to put it in, and in the beginning, it might be a challenge, and that's okay. It's to have the ease that it flows rather than it seems easy, and then you wind up pushing a truck uphill. And that is what I have found in my life. And yes, I'm doubting that belief too. It's very, very interesting how we do that. So, Janine, what do you mean, doubt my belief? Just because you have done something the same way for ever so often long, what if you're being asked to do it a different way? What if you're being asked to do it in a way that may feel uncomfortable in the beginning? And this is what happens when we come to mindset. We are being asked to think differently, and this is very, very uncomfortable for many people. I've yet to find one that it isn't uncomfortable for, they find ease with doing it immediately. It's a process. We grow into it. We begin with awareness. We go, oh, where did that thought come from? What's behind it? What triggered it? Is it even mine? Because so many times we pick up thoughts from other people and then we try to solve their problem thinking it's our problem. No, no, no. Return to sender with love and consciousness attached. Going back to the cells talking to each other, I'd just like to give you some background while I remember. They did various studies where they split cells, and what they found is what happens to one cell, the other cell will have the same response, even if it's across the other side of the world. So when we begin to move forward, when we begin to question the way things are done, we actually open space for people around us to be able to see things differently, to do things differently. And this is a form of healing. It's a healing that brings forward creating space. I call it creating space healing. We grow ourselves, we shift our mindsets, we become aware of what's happening, and it makes space for other people to do the same. Now, here is the challenge. They may be very uncomfortable with the fact that you are growing, that your mindset is shifting, that you're becoming more aware, and you're bringing to consciousness those unconscious beliefs and paradigms keeping you stuck, because they're going to be asked to either stay behind or to get up and start shifting and changing in themselves, in their mindsets, in the way they do things. So they will actually grab at you, put you down, and in many ways be very unsupportive. I must say, I'm extremely, extremely blessed to have a husband that is, and friends and children that are incredibly supportive when I choose to grow and change. I know many others that have very different scenarios. For me, the important thing is I just suddenly had a thought, am I recording this? The thing is to say, I'm going to take small steps. I choose to take small steps forward. So we're not going to radically change our minds immediately. We do have understandings, we do have shifts. It's then to maintain those shifts and then move forward with them. For me, what I did was I learned an exercise where you, every 15 minutes, you set your alarm and you put a plus, a minus, or a zero. A plus if you're thinking an expansive thought, a zero if it's very neutral, or a minus if it's an oh dear thought. Oh my giddy aunt, you add those up, you do it for 8 hours for 3 days in a row, you see how many pluses, minuses, and zeros you have. It's very, very interesting. For those working, do it every hour or do it on a weekend. It really shows you what you're thinking. I love morning pages because they bring forth, I love journaling actually. Morning pages is a form of journaling where you write 3 foolscap pages until you're done. It can take up to half an hour to do that. And even if you just write there, I have no idea what to write. I would love to know what to write. And you do that long enough and you begin to know what you're writing. And I find journaling does show what our predominant thought, challenge, and repeating patterns are. And this is all part of our mindset shift. When we can recognize those patterns and see what are asking to be cleared and what are asking to either be expanded on or worked with. It makes life so fascinating. So, quick recap. Number one, our cells from our parents and our children, we talk to each other through our cellular connection. We connect with each other at an energetic connection, and our minds are set from are set in that way. They're also set through programming, conditioning, and many people are unaware. But whatever happens in a woman is pregnant with a baby. That baby, when it's a female, I'm uncertain about the male, so that I'd have to explore. So avoid quoting me about the male, but I know from a female, when her reproductive organs are formed, it carries a response very often to any extremely traumatic events, so that impacts the grandchild of that pregnant woman when that grandchild is born. So I find that fascinating. There were a lot of studies done on that. So we get to see what has been imprinted on us, what are we becoming entangled in, and where are we conditioned. And that is what helps us to shift our mindset. And this is what I help clients do. I help them see where the entanglements are and disentangle it, or just cut the ties completely so that they can breathe again, so they can see with a direction to go. We get to see what the imprints are, shift them, change them, pivot them. We track what the thinking is so that we can see the conditioning and we can shift that. So you don't stop the thought. So when you think, oh my giddy aunt, this XYZ, we go, okay, I see you. You know what? I would rather go, wow, look, I can learn this and that from it. And we pivot it. So we always acknowledge the thought, we acknowledge the feeling, we acknowledge that emotion, and then we pivot it to something that feels better, is better, and allows us to grow and to be better. And that's all part of mindset alchemy. It's also all part of personal leadership. And personal leadership is where we get to have the courage to work from our vision rather than from pressure and other people's points of view. Have a good one today and let me know if you have any questions. You can ask me in the comments or you can get hold of me in the show notes. There's a link to be able to get hold of me. And have a great day, being very aware of what you're thinking, the words that are coming out of your mouth, and who you're with and what you leave with. I used to, in my when I lived up in on the Highveld, I always used to say, whatever comes through my gate, may it be aligned with love, and just allow that love be there. Sometimes that was me having to be more loving, and that's okay. People, go and check what you're thinking today. Cheerio.